So as a result of an airborne training accident, Navy Special Operations needed a belt specifically designed to withstand airborne operations, and Aeolus Defense accepted that challenge and developed the NSO belt. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex from IronInfidel.com. If you're looking to support our channel, head over to our website, check out some of the fitness products we sell. And guys, we make the best t-shirts on the market. I say it every time because I really do believe it. You got to check them out. So today I have a new belt for you to look at and kind of just an update on what my belt setup is. You guys know I'm always on the lookout for unique products that bring something new to the community, at least to the degree that they can bring something new to the community. And we have a first look at the Aeolus Defense NSO belt. First of all, I want to give you a little bit of history behind why this belt was actually developed. A member of the special operations community was recently involved in an airborne training accident. So Navy Special Operations teamed up with Aeolus Defense to develop a belt that was specifically designed for airborne operations, and more specifically to be able to withstand the tension and the weight, not only straight up and down, but from multiple directions. Now, I have almost no experience with airborne operations, so I can't really speak to this belt in that regard, but I did contact the owner of Aeolus Defense and I talked to him in detail about the belt and its features because I really wanted to do it justice. And I'll talk about it in more of a context of a law enforcement officer or a civilian looking to purchase this, which is now available on the market for the public. So we'll start with the most important part for most people. That's going to be the outer double Molle belt. This is 1.75 inch, just like the Blue Alpha Gear belt. Up front, you have a metallic Cobra buckle. This is basically the exact same thing, the exact same Cobra buckle you're going to see on any other double Molle belt. The thing about these Cobra buckles are they're ANSI rated up to 22,000 kilonewtons, but that's only straight up and down if the pressure is being applied straight up and down. But if it's being applied bi-directional or at a different angle, then it's no longer ANSI rated. And if one of these little buttons on the Cobra buckle is accidentally depressed and the buckle starts coming out a little bit, it's no longer ANSI rated as well. And that can happen all the time. It can happen very, very easily. So that is why the Riggers belt was developed, which I'll dive into here in a bit. Guys, as I've mentioned on previous videos, I've pretty much used every type of belt there is on the market over the last 12 or 13 years. I've used your standard 2-inch nylon duty style belts. I've used your thick padded belts that secure by friction. I've used slim padded belts that secure by friction. And ultimately I landed on my favorite style, which is 1 3/4 inch double Molle belts that secure to you by marrying up with the inner belt, which is made by Velcro. And I know if you've never used this type of belt before, you're probably like me. I was skeptical that it was going to be secure enough, but believe it or not, in my experience, these are actually the most secure style of belt available on the market, more so than belts by friction and even more so than belts that hold up by keepers. Ultimately, what you're looking for is you don't want your belt sliding from side to side or moving up and down when you're on the move or running or whatever, because you want to have consistent movement patterns in your draw and in your reloads. So I've made a previous belt video about 6 months ago, but I've updated my belt a whole bunch since then. I'll burn through this as fast as I can just to kind of show you the changes that I've made. Up front, I have my tourniquet inside a high-speed gear tourniquet holder. I switched this out with the soil eater. So now I'm using the high-speed gear one. Again, it's still pushed all the way up against that Cobra buckle. The reason being is you want your tourniquet accessible by both hands. Why would you want it accessible by both hands? So that if one gets injured, your other hand can grab it and render self-aid. I've mentioned that on a bunch of other videos. Behind that, I switched out my Safariland holster with a Contact CT3. This is an active retention holster. And I put a Safariland QLS on the back of it so I can swap out holsters whenever I want. Moving on from there, behind I've got my IFAC. I used to have a blue force gear micro trauma kit, now blue alpha gear. I can't remember. I always get blue force gear and blue alpha gear mixed up, but this is from High Speed Gear. This one's larger than that one. I was struggling to get all the items that I needed in the micro trauma kit, so I like this one better just because it's a little bit larger. And then you can see I've got some chem lights in here. Guys, are chem lights for medical purposes? No, not really, but I don't have any use for these loops, so I just put them in there. Easy storage, easy access, so I put them there. If you're somebody who sits on patrol and you're going to be in a car for hours at a time, I probably wouldn't put this IFAC right in the center of your back. You're going to have back problems, but if you don't, then this is a perfect place for it, so that's where I put it. Behind that, I've got a dump pouch. I do not like dump pouches. I almost never use them, so I opted to get the smallest dump pouch that I could possibly find, which is this blue force gear. Again, blue force gear, blue alpha gear, I don't know, but it's the smallest one I could find. This one's pretty flimsy. If you're somebody who likes dump pouches and uses them all the time, I wouldn't recommend getting this one because I don't think it's all that durable, but it's good for me because I almost never use it. But if you're using it on the range all the time, probably go with something a little bit more durable. And then behind that, I've switched out my mag pouches. I used to have S-Tacs for the pistol and then a High Speed Gear taco pouch. I switched them out for all CompTac. You're probably seeing a pattern here. I've got a lot of CompTac stuff. Guys, full disclosure, I am sponsored by CompTac, but I do love their mag pouches, so just take that for what it's worth. And then that's it. That's pretty much all I have on the belt. Again, pretty minimalistic. But now let's dive into why the Aeolus Defense belt is special and why it was actually developed, which is the Riggers belt. This is what makes this whole package unique. More specifically, this loop right here. This does not look like much, but this little loop can withstand 4,200 pounds of pressure before it breaks off. 4,200 pounds. And that's not only straight up and down, but from multiple directions, multiple angles, which is different and better than the D-ring and Cobra buckle. So this would be used for airborne rescues, things like that. And then in addition to that, if you just want to downgrade and get more of your standard EDC style belt, inner belt that secures by Velcro as well, you can get that for a little bit less of a price tag. And the last option you can throw on there, if you're looking for the complete package, is this leg harness for rappelling and climbing. Guys, I have no experience rappelling or climbing. Actually, no, I take that back. I have one time in my life rappelled, and that was during the SWAT Academy. So I'm not really going to speak much to this, but you can add it on there. It's for rappelling and climbing. If you're a super high speed guy, you can pick this up and get the complete package. Are items like this important for most of the general population? No, probably not. But I can say that this belt appears to be super rugged and durable. So if I was looking for a belt to go to the range or for patrol or duty use, things like that, I would probably pick up the Riggers belt because it's only an extra 80 bucks and then a double Molle outer belt. I can't speak to the longevity of this. Again, this is first impressions. I've only used this for about a month. I used the blue alpha gear for multiple years, but I really do think this one's going to hold up over time. It's just a beast, guys. One thing you should know is I will never bring a product on here that I wouldn't use myself. I'm never going to endorse a product I wouldn't use myself. This belt, I think it's the real deal. Guys, thank you as always for tuning in. I really do appreciate your support. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe, notification, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.